Hey up you lot. So I'm a cheap kind of guy. I'm not an audiophile, and I haven't got an audiophile set up. I haven't got any MoFi releases, and my sound system is more a couple of hundred than a couple of thousand. But it suits me. I like buying records. I like listening to them. So I was looking on Discogs, and there was a couple of things on my wants list that have been listed very, very cheaply. And as I said, I'm a cheap kind of guy, so I went for them. Now, apparently, condition on one of them is really bad, but I've got a couple of theories about that. The parcel's arrived, so I've cracked it open, but I've not had a proper look at them. So let's have a little look. There's a couple of other things in there as well, actually. I don't know if you guys do this. I've found some great stuff doing this. So if I'm buying something from Discogs, which I do fairly regularly, I'll have a look through the seller's inventory, because a lot of sellers will put 3 to 5 records in the same parcel, and it doesn't cost you any more postage. And if you pay in like a fiver for a record, and then you've got a fiver postage on top, you may as well stick another couple of things in. So there's 2 records that were on my wants list, and 2 records that I was just browsing through this seller's inventory, and I just fancied. They just look cool. Well, one I used to have on CD and lost, but that's a very silly record. So first one out of the packet was The Outlaws. I'm a huge Joe Meek fan. And this was on my wants list. I don't quite like the Outlaws as much as the Tornadoes overall, but there's a couple of tracks that they did that were absolute belters. Ones like Crazy Drums, Shake With Me. So obviously the Outlaws were mainly Richie Blackmore, Chaz Hodges, and Mick Underwood. And they did a lot of the kind of Joe Meek poppy upbeat instrumentals, but when they were allowed to go for it, they did some they made some right raucous noise. So they're an odd band to listen to, because sometimes it's kind of like that. Oh yeah, I like this. This is like cheery, disposable 60s instrumental pop, and then they just come in with something that's like a brutal guitar solo, or just something like the intro to Crazy Drums sounds like Joy Division 20 years before Joy Division. 20 years? Probably about 15 years. 20 years. I don't know the numbers of years. The numbers of years. Apparently I don't know words either. So this actually said, let's have a look at the Discogs listing. The Outlaws, VG, slight scratches, hairline scratches, vinyl plays VG plus. So I wasn't too worried about that. That was £3.50. It does say there's a 6cm hole in the sleeve, which isn't that bad. It's not super unattractive. Like I said, I don't buy pristine first pressings of key records. I'm just happy to get the record cheap. I think the LP looks alright. Let's have a look. Yeah, that's nice and clean. And there are a couple of hairline marks on it. I've not given any of these a clean yet, so they'll be getting a proper clean. So the next one was £3, and I got this one just because it was in his inventory, and I spotted it, and I thought I'll pay £3 for that. Yardbird, the single hits. So it's just the A sides of the singles and stuff. I've got quite a fondness for 10-inch records. I quite like them. Next up, is another one that was in alright condition. Drag Racing at Santa Pod. There we go. Now, this was the one I had on CD quite a few years ago, and I really loved it. I lost the CD quite a few years ago. It's very odd. It is drag racing. It's an LP of drag racing. So you hear the announcer, and then you hear the engine, and that says it's in pretty good condition. There's just a couple of hairline scuffs on it. It looks all right. Cool record label, that quarter mile machine. The main one I wanted, which was £2. So the sleeve was in okay condition, and the record was in poor condition. And it's Hassel Adkins. Now, I don't know if you guys haven't heard of Hassel Adkins, he's kind of like what Iggy and the Stooges are to punk. Hassel Adkins is like that to Psychobilly. He self-recorded and sold a string of 7-inch singles in the early to mid 60s. He played guitar and then drums with his feet. Yeah. And they were all over. He just makes a racket. Some of them are just a beat and him wailing and whistling. It's very much outside of music. For a lot of us, we kind of got to know of his stuff through the Cramps. Lux and Ivy did a cover of She Said. I think it was on Off the Bone. And that was when I started taking an interest in him. A lot of his songs are about... He's kind of got regular themes. Fried chicken, murder, fornication, and commodity meat, which whatever commodity meat is sounds tasty. He died in 2005. He was run over by a teenager on an ATV, but the teenager intentionally ran him over, and he died through complications because of that. He lived a controversial life, and I'm not suggesting he was any kind of a saint or an angel, but his music is tremendously odd and tremendous fun. Now, let me just find the Discog listing, because the record... So... Deep 8cm scratch on side A. Hairline scratches. Vinyl plays with a lot of surface noise. And a 4cm split to the top edge of the jacket, which it happens. So I kind of had a little think about it. I thought it's £2. Yeah, I know there's postage on top. That's why I got a couple of other things just to kind of average out the price. I know what I mean in my head. But if you listen to this digitally, and I did listen to it online, Adkins recorded his own stuff with his own tape recorder and his own knackered microphones. And I'm thinking that a bit of surface noise might well be in the actual recording, because also I think these are from some of his they're taken from 45s, not necessarily the master tapes, which anybody that knows, if you've got a compilation of like where the master tapes don't exist and they've used the best quality 45s or 78s that they've been able to find, you do sometimes get surface noise that isn't necessarily surface noise on the record. It's surface noise on the original record that's then been recorded and pressed onto that. The record doesn't look too bad. Yeah, it's got some marks on it. But I don't think it looks too bad. And it's a bit of a gamble. One thing I did love is somebody's done their own little Guana Bats logo on the paper inner sleeve. Now, I haven't swapped these out for anti-static inners or put them in protective sleeves or anything yet. But let's have a little listen. And so I'll stick the Hassel-Adkins record on without any kind of cleaning or sorting out. We'll see how it sounds.
Well, I'm going to tell you what happened. I went out last night, and I got his stuff. When I woke up, his buddy should have seen what I had in the bed with me. He jumped up out of the bed, pulled his hand down his eye, looked at me like a guy in town that come out on his knees. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Quite crackly. So I'm gonna go and give it a clean. That could be damaged, but it does sound a little bit like dust as well. So let's go give it a clean and see if we can improve it any.
Well, I was going to tell you what happened. I went out last night, and I got his stuff. When I woke up, his buddy should have seen what I had in the bed with me.
So not perfect, but I think there is improvement. But I only gave it like a 5-minute clean, so I think over the next couple of days I'm going to get it back in the cleaner, give it a right good do, and see if I can't improve it even further. But it was just a little punt on Discogs. I thought you guys might like to see what I've been spending my hard-earned cash on, and figure out whether I ended up with junk or gems. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you good folks in the next... Very briefly, I almost forgot, I need to include the star of the show. Thank you for watching, guys, and I'll see you lovely folks in the next video.